Thank you so much for staying with this South African morning. Now, if you're getting ready for work and you're about to get into your car, we know as a motorist that it's painful, it's frustrating, but you are in our thoughts as we go through the same as well. We've actually put out ENCA reporters Hedi Giokos, Dasen, Thathiah, and Nobesuthu, Hejana, who all took part in a three-way amazing race. I hope it is amazing for you guys and that you're not suffering too much from contending with traffic lights that are not working due to the blackouts, crashes, or any other obstacles on the road. Nobesuthu, I see you smiling. It sounds like the scenic view has just influenced your blissful mood. We'll start with you and we'll come back to Heidi and Dasen. Morning again, guys.
Cool. So we are still on the N1. So we've just passed the Monte Vista Boulevard off-ramp to Goodwood. So obviously there are cars or vehicles that are joining into the N1 from Goodwood, but we're also waiting for others just ahead. But I'll tell you this, in this route I did see on the GPS it's saying that we're experiencing about 15 minutes delay, but I must say, I mean, it's not unusual for Cape Town to have not a lot of traffic in the morning, but just today on Tuesday it's a bit easy, if I may say. But you know, on Mondays it's something that we would be experiencing a lot of congestion in the road, but at least this morning being a Tuesday, it's a bit easy for vehicles and even for myself. I mean, I'm not panicking. I know that I will win this particular race, even though there's a bit of congestion here on the N1. But, you know, I'm not sure about my colleagues because I saw pictures with my good friend Heidi there. The streets are very empty in Johannesburg. So that's a cheat, number one. And then with Dasen, also a cheat because the streets are clean. I think he chose that particular route because he knew there wouldn't be vehicles on the road or congestion. So I'm actually sticking to the rules of this particular race.
Yes, thanks. No, so just stay with us. So, Dasen, you have been implicated in this conspiracy between yourself and Heidi that somehow you knew, you had insider information that the roads would be clear.
Look, that's not necessarily true. I mean, we also did hit our fair share of traffic when we left Umlazi. In fact, it's only now that we are in the CBD that we are, it's seemingly a little bit better than it was earlier. Because when you leave Umlazi, you have two options really. You can take the N2, but that's not great because there's roadworks on the N2, which will be great in the long term, but not great right now. And then you can take the M4, which takes you in through here, where I am now in the CBD, and this will ultimately lead me towards the north, where we're going to the office. So on the way, we did encounter lots of traffic. I think there was a set of robots that was out as we were leaving Umlazi. There was also a bottleneck. So that's certainly not a trip for the faint-hearted. I think my thoughts are with anyone coming in from the south, from Umlazi, from Chatsworth, from Manzimtoti, Wentworth, and so on. They would follow a similar route to the one that we are following now. So we still have some way to go before we get to the office. I don't know what the M4 is going to look like. That's on the north coast. It is normally quite busy in the morning. There's standstill traffic there. So it's quite a journey. I imagine that it's now just before 8. It's about 20 to 8. I think that we should be there after 8. I've also realized that this whole thing was a ploy by Faith Daniels, our editor. I think she just wanted us to get to the office early. So that's why we had this strategy. And my second complaint is that my colleagues that are with me didn't carry any food or coffee for that matter. So we need to address those issues the next time we do this.
So we have a disgruntled Dasen. They're saying, you know, this had been a ploy for him. But thanks so much, guys. It's so much fun, by the way, watching you go through the frustration of being in traffic. Let's go to Heidi now. Morning again, Heidi. What is it looking like between Soweto and Johannesburg?
I don't know why Nobesuthu and Dasen are complaining because I'm stuck in the worst traffic. I'm going to ask my colleague Teddy to just show you. We are on the M1 North This is expected because we do know that people coming from the south, moving into the north and into the city centre normally use this particular highway. So it does seem as though there is congestion. It's very difficult for me to say that Nobesuthu might just win, but I'm not accepting defeat at this point because I might still be able to make it through. I'm not going to do what these taxis and vehicles are doing by using the yellow line. I'm going to be a diligent and good driver and abide by the rules of the road. But it was free flowing all the way up until about now, where you are seeing this congestion on the M1 North. And I'm just going to ask Teddy to just actually quickly show you my phone, where we are about 15 kilometers from work and it's set to take about 42 minutes. I do suspect that there is probably a accident somewhere. We've also just been alerted that load shedding has been suspended until 4 o'clock this afternoon, which I do think is making a big impact in terms of the traffic lights that are now working, which is not common here in the city of Johannesburg. We do know that traffic lights never work here. We also saw pointsmen in Protea Glen, which I think also made a difference and alleviated the traffic normally where you see it in Protea Glen. So I'm not going to accept defeat just as yet, Cindy. I do believe that I will win. I'm very competitive and I'm going to find a way to get to the office before Dasen and Nobesuthu.
Yeah, Nobesuthu also just let the pigeon amongst, or the cat amongst the pigeon, because she's saying that she's 15 minutes delayed. So that's already a tip to the other two contenders for you to try and make up the time within the legal limits, of course, and not to cheat or go on the yellow line, which obviously you wouldn't do. But Nobesuthu, I think if you had the blue lights, what advantage do you have? I'm just struck by the demeanor of your being so calm. Heidi, it sounds a little bit agitated because it's just more traffic in Johannesburg.
I mean, I'd say for now, Cindy, the traffic is flowing. So even if I did have a blue light, I mean, I'd still win this particular race. I'm just going to ask my colleague Mabuti to show you the road. I mean, even though there are vehicles as expected on the road, it's flowing. So we're not panicking. We're very chilled here. I can see the mountain. We're getting closer to the office. We did experience a bit of 15 minutes delay on this particular route, but I mean, there aren't any public transport vehicles here. It's just a number of vehicles like private cars. So the traffic is flowing. So we are going to approach the off-ramp to the Canal Walk or Century City. We're also we are hoping to see vehicles also getting into the N1, so there will be a bit of congestion from that side. But I must say, I'm very close to the office. I did not have an advantage. I was 53 kilometers away from the office, but I will be winning this particular race.
Yes, it's definitely a hugely contested race, guys. Well, thank you so much. We'll catch up with you in a little bit. Let's make room now for Nandi Shabalala.